With every video I make, my goal is to make you sound more like a native speaker. One of the biggest differences between advanced English learners and native speakers is the way they use expressions, especially in professional settings. For example, a non-native speaker might say, "He got a high-level job at the bank." But a native speaker might say, "He secured a senior role at the bank." Or instead of saying, "He gave false information about himself during the interview," a native speaker might simply say, "He misrepresented himself." Native speakers often use just a few precise words to express something clearly and naturally. In this video, I will teach you some professional expressions that native speakers use every day at work. These expressions aren't rare and they're not overly formal. They're common and they're natural phrases, and I took them from a recent Los Angeles Times article titled, "Job Seekers Turn to AI to Gain a Competitive Edge." If you've already bought the 400 Advanced Words for Fluent English course, you will notice that I uploaded the PDF of everything that I'm teaching in this video to the free bonus section of that course that you already have. I also created questions for speaking practice so that you can practice using these words and these expressions related to your own life. The free bonus section is titled Mastering Vocabulary from Today's News. So go back to the course that you already bought and you will see this bonus section. And if you haven't bought the course yet, you can go to AccurateEnglish.com. Okay, let's get started. Let's look at the title of the article. The title is Job Seekers Turn to AI to Gain a Competitive Edge. It can also backfire. The article describes how people who are looking for a job are using AI, artificial intelligence, to write their resumes and to even answer interview questions. That can be helpful, but there are some negative aspects to it. Everyone sounds the same. All of the resumes resemble each other, and some employers don't like it when their applicants use AI, so it can actually hurt them more than help them. Let's look at the headline again, and let's look at the word an edge. To gain a competitive edge. An edge is an advantage that makes someone more successful than others. For example, we can say, learning advanced Excel skills can give you a competitive edge in the job market. Speaking English fluently will give me an edge. Let's listen to the way some other people used it.
Knowing the right game to play can give you an edge before you've even started playing.
Our graduates have a competitive edge in the job market.
I have an edge over my competition.
And let's look at the meaning of to backfire. The article said that using AI when looking for a job can backfire. If something backfires, it has an opposite effect of what was intended or planned, often producing a negative result. For example, you can say, "My plans backfired. It didn't turn out the way I expected." His attempt to impress his boss by criticizing a coworker backfired. Lying on your resume might backfire during the interview. Let's listen to the way some other people used it.
That's exactly what we did in the 1950s, and that effort backfired.
My problem was that I tried to learn everything at once, which backfired on me.
It's a political loser. It's backfired politically.
Let's look at the first two paragraphs of the article and let's learn some more expressions. Danish Larman, a recruiter, noticed something fishy about the job applicants. Cover letters and resumes sounded identical. Candidates embellished their experience to match the job description. On top of that, engineers were caught using artificial intelligence tools to cheat on live coding tests. Do you know the meaning of the word fishy? If something is fishy, it's suspicious. Something is not quite right. Something doesn't make sense. The recruiter noticed something fishy about the job applicants. Something didn't quite seem right. We can say, "I noticed something fishy about the way he answered that question." Her explanation sounded fishy, like she was hiding something. Let's listen to how some other people used fishy.
You don't have to have a PhD to start wondering whether maybe there could be something fishy going on here.
There's something fishy going on with that whole situation.
Something fishy, something rigged.
Let's look at the verb to embellish. To embellish something is to make a story or a statement more interesting by adding extra details that are often not true. To exaggerate. The article says, cover letters and resumes sounded identical. Candidates embellished their experience to match the job description. We can say, he embellished his resume to make himself look more experienced. Try not to embellish your work experience during the interview. She slightly embellished the story to make it more entertaining. Have you ever heard the idiomatic expression, to rub someone the wrong way? It rubs me the wrong way. Let's look at the way it's used in this article. Using an AI interview or coding assistant could rub some employers the wrong way. But the entrepreneurs who created the tool say they're just trying to support job seekers who are navigating a terrible job market. To rub someone the wrong way is to irritate or annoy someone unintentionally. You can say, his comment rubbed me the wrong way. His arrogance tends to rub people the wrong way. Let's listen to how some other people used it.
And so that statement right there really rubbed me the wrong way and bothered me because
he didn't like me. Okay, there was something about me that rubbed him the wrong way.
It rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I didn't mean to offend anybody.
Let's look at to navigate. You probably know one meaning of to navigate. When you're driving a car, you need to navigate and you have a navigation system. Let's learn some other ways to use to navigate. The article said, the people who created the tools say they're just trying to support job seekers who are navigating a terrible job market. To navigate is to find a way through a difficult or complex situation. For example, we can say, to navigate a crisis, to navigate bureaucracy, to navigate a conflict, to navigate uncertainty. We can say, many young professionals are struggling to navigate the job market. I'm learning how to navigate office politics. Let's listen to how some other people used it.
She has to navigate over 1,000 different websites.
When I saw her navigate these really challenging situations,
I understand what it means to navigate the educational system, to try to get a job.
Let's look at two more paragraphs. Let's learn the expression, a breach of trust. Lindsay Oak, a San Diego resident who recruits for tech nonprofits, said she suspected a candidate interviewing for a relationship-building role was reading AI-generated answers because of their speech patterns and pauses. She said using AI to help prepare for interview questions is fine, but reading off a screen with interview responses is a total breach of trust and a big no-no for me. Let's look at a breach of trust. And that's where someone breaks a promise or does something so that you can no longer trust them. She said reading off a screen with interview responses is a total breach of trust. We can use it this way. Sharing confidential client information is a serious breach of trust. Employers may fire workers for any breach of trust. Let's look at it's a no-no. It's a big no-no. She said it's a total breach of trust and a big no-no for me. If something is a no-no, it's unacceptable or inappropriate. You're not supposed to do it, especially in a professional setting. We can say, lying on your resume is a big no-no. Using slang in a formal interview is a no-no. It's a big no-no. Let's listen to the way some other people used it.
Which is always a no-no in the American market, of course.
That's a big no-no because it will not bring you guys closer.
Flirting with other women, that would be a big no-no.
Let's look at two more paragraphs to learn a few more expressions. Pill, who previously worked as a customer success manager at Coda and a solutions engineer at Apple, is still trying to land his next role despite already applying to roughly 1,500 jobs. AI has helped him research a potential employer and improve cover letters, but using the tools to auto-apply to jobs hasn't yielded much success, he said. Pill, who secured a contract role but is still job hunting, said the progress he has made has been through referrals or reaching out to a hiring manager who viewed his LinkedIn profile. Let's look at the meaning of to land. You probably know one meaning of to land. The airplane is landing. In this article, to land was used differently. It said he is still trying to land his next role. And in this case, to land means to successfully get something important, especially a job or some other opportunity. We often use it this way: to land a job, to land a role, to land a deal, to land an interview. She landed her dream job after graduation. I finally landed an interview. He landed a spot on the team. And let's look at the verb to yield. The article says, using AI to auto-apply to jobs hasn't yielded much success. To yield means to produce or to result in something, especially positive results. And we commonly use it this way: to yield success, to yield results, to yield a profit, to yield insights. We can say, your consistent effort will eventually yield success. Their investment has yielded great results. The marketing strategy didn't yield the expected growth. Let's look at the verb to secure. It said to secure a role. He secured a contract role, but is still job hunting. To secure is to succeed in getting something important. We frequently use it this way: to secure a job, to secure a role, to secure funding, to secure a contract. To secure a loan, we can say, he secured a senior role at the international branch. I secured several new clients. She secured an internship at a major law firm. And let's look at the next expression: to misrepresent oneself. The article says employers know that job candidates could be using AI to enhance their resume or cover letter, but they don't want people misrepresenting themselves. And if you misrepresent yourself, you give false or misleading information of who you are. It's essentially to lie. You can misrepresent yourself, or you can misrepresent facts. We can say, he told me that he was a college professor, but he's an elementary school teacher. He misrepresented himself. Misrepresenting yourself in a job interview can lead to problems later. Employers value honesty, so never misrepresent yourself. Let's look at the meaning of the verb to slash. And the article said, as California tech companies continue to slash payrolls, the state's unemployment rate has been higher than the national average. To slash means to cut, but in a business sense, it means to reduce something drastically, such as costs or jobs. And we often use slash this way: to slash costs, to slash prices, to slash the budget, to slash spending. We can say management slashed travel expenses, or they're planning to slash 20% of their workforce. Let's look at the next verb, to claim. We often say to make a claim, to make a bold claim. And the article says Final Round AI, which offers an AI-powered interview assistant and other tools for a subscription fee, makes the bold claim that the candidate can land their next job in 30 days or less. If you make a claim, or if you make a bold claim, you say something that is true even if you don't have proof. To say it with strong confidence. You can say, the company claimed that their product was the best in the market. You need to be ready to support any claims you make in a job interview. That was a very bold claim. You made a very bold claim.
That's a bold claim, but can it be proven? Well, of course it can.
Now, I realize that calling it the most pointless is a bit of a bold claim.
That is a bold claim. We need proof, sir.
Remember, a PDF of this entire video has just been added to the course 400 Advanced Words course for Fluent English. It's in the extra bonus section, so make sure you check it out if you have the course. And if you don't have it, you can get it at AccurateEnglish.com. And I also created conversation questions that go along with each of these expressions so that you can use them speaking out loud using your own language. And that's how you reach the final level of fluency, practicing the expressions that native speakers use. Thanks for watching and keep practicing.